Hi guys, so you got HU TAO, and you're wondering, how do I build this character? Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing how to build this character, and the different ways that you can build her. So for starters, let's talk about her kit. Okay, first, HU TAO's autos. HU TAO's autos have a super high multiplier on her charge attack, so you'll get a lot of damage if you level this ability up. As far as her skill, HU TAO takes a percentage of her HP and converts it into attack. Basically, the more HP you have, the more attack you'll have during this ability. It also leaves behind a Blood Blossom, which does pyro damage every 4 seconds. Next, we have HU TAO's Burst Spirit Soother. Basically what this does is if you're below 50 HP, it does a lot of damage, and it also does some HP restoration as well. The more opponents you hit, the more HP you restore. It also has a high scaler and can do a lot of massive damage, especially in Vaporize or Melt reactions. HU TAO also has some very useful passives. The first of them being, whenever you swap off of her after using her E skill ability, she provides 12% to the following teammate that you switch to. Her other passive also grants her 33% pyro damage when her HP is below 50%. Now, as far as constellations go, the one that you really want to decide on if you want to get it or not is her first constellation. Basically what this does is it removes the requirement to preserve your stamina, because it gives you unlimited stamina. I know this is kind of a whale option, but you definitely do not need it. It's just a nice to have. Now, if you are willing to whale, the only other really big constellation is her C6, as it definitely changes her gameplay and her damage output can definitely increase. But, you know, I definitely don't recommend it. Alright, with that being said, let's move on to the artifact sets. Now, if you're fairly new to the game or you haven't reached AR 45, I highly recommend using the 2-piece martial artist set or the 2-piece berserker set. These artifact sets work really well with HU TAO's kit, and it's not really something you need to farm for. That way you can save your farming when you reach AR 45 and you can get those artifact sets replaced. As far as weapons go, I highly recommend the White Tassel, which is a really good weapon that provides crit rate, making builds a lot easier to achieve good crit ratios. You can get this weapon by collecting it through random chest in the leeway. So good luck hunting. Now, if you have been playing and you are AR 45, I would highly recommend the 4-piece Shimenawa or the 4-piece Crimson Witch. The 4-piece Crimson Witch being the best in slot. Shimenawa is pretty close. If you cannot achieve that while also getting good ratios, you also have the option of running one of these sets, being the 2-piece Noblesse, the 2-piece Tenacity, or 2-piece Wanderers. As far as weapons go, HU TAO has a ton of options, and in today's video I'm going to cover how well they compare with each other. Here are displayed my stats with these weapons. I'm currently running the 4-piece Crimson Witch in this test. What I do is I do a normal attack, both raw damage and vaporize damage. I do the same with her burst, and you can see how they all compare with each other. For those who are wondering how the 4-piece Shimenawa piece does in comparison to the Crimson Witch, I did the same test with my own 4-piece Shimenawa set. On the top you'll see my stats displayed, and now you guys can see how well it does in the same test. So I put together a little graph showing all of the weapons and how they compare with each other. I started with the blue, which is the raw charge attack, and then the vaporized charge attack, which is the orange, followed by the raw burst damage, and then last, the vaporized burst damage. I hope this test serves as a good example to show you how each of the weapons compare with each other, as well as the 4-piece Shimenawa in comparison to Crimson Witch, in case any of you guys were wondering how those do in comparison with each other. Now for team comps, I highly want to recommend double Geo or double Cryo with Xingqiu. Now you can do a mixture or something similar to one of these compositions. You don't specifically need all of these characters, but one way or another you're going to want to do a blend of something like this. You can also implement Sucrose in there as well, as you'll normally have an off-slot character that you can throw in. The majority of comps will consist of Xingqiu or Chun-Li, but you can replace or interchange characters when found needed. Now if you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please like and subscribe, and if you have any other characters that you would like me to cover in another guide, please comment that in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.